Good morning. It's a Monday. I know some people need a bit of cheering up because not everybody likes Mondays, which is fair enough. Bit grey here. And today is a work day for me, or a worky work day, as some would say. I've got lots of drafts, but I've got to finish them all up and I need to get them all scheduled so that I've got the next couple of weeks in hand. So I thought I'll do something else first because why not? This is mainly jewellery bits because the other stuff is upstairs waiting to be photographed. Another job to be done. So I am just seeing if anyone pops in. But of course, people can always watch back because we're all busy and Monday mornings are no different. I did go to a boot fair yesterday. I took my lovely friend Anne. And I think she had a good day selling lots of her stuff. Hello, Elaine. Hello. It's Monday morning. Not everybody's awake. I'm barely awake myself. Had a very, very busy weekend. Just stonkingly busy. Lovely, but busy. So a lot of running around and doing bits and pieces. I've got some jewellery bits to show. Hi Kelly. Good morning. First things first, I went to one of my local charity shops while I dropped my son off to do his now I keep wanting to call it panic room, but it's not, it's escape room. Him and some mates were doing that for a sort of birthday treat. So while they were there, I nipped to the nearest charity shop and picked up a few bits. Now, they didn't have much on their jewellery racks, but I actually got a little plastic container, one of those little takeaway dishes for £1.50, and I saw something in there that would more than make my money back, so I thought I would do it. Thank you. Thank you, Elaine. It's really weird. I feel so much more, I can't really describe it. I mean, hair is just hair, right? It shouldn't be important, but it is, and I just feel so much more comfortable back in dark hair. Yeah, I'll try lighter hair again some other time. I think I'll give it a few more years when it's a bit more white and a bit less grey, because it always came out quite nice on camera, but it was very grey, and I just thought it made me feel a bit meh sometimes. So I don't feel meh now. I feel more like me. Yes, I certainly do. And it was the advice of a very wise friend who said, "You don't seem like you. What's going on?" And it was the hair. So I have to say, though, I did it about 3 weeks ago and I've already got roots that are nearly a centimetre long. My hair grows like bindweed. It grows very fast, which is why I have it long, because to be honest, I couldn't keep up with a short hairstyle. It would just be ridiculous. So, yeah, I have got to deal with roots and stuff. But you know what? I've gone back to the dark side and it suits me well. Now, this is the reason I decided to buy this bag. How chunky is that? It's not branded. I mean, it'd be lovely if it was, but it isn't. But it's super chunky and it's slightly mattified. I mean, my God. Jewellery works quite well against black hair, I have to say. So there'll be lots of pieces I'm considering wearing again. I can't wear this, so this will make me itch just looking at it. But it's lovely, and it's chunky and it's heavy, so it's quite well made. And, that's more than covered the £1.50 I spent, clearly. Sort of collar length. And it's got a satisfying noise. So that was really why I bought it. And there's a couple of other bits in here that I wasn't expecting that turned out quite nicely. I quite like this. This is vintage, and it's that milk glass. I think it's quite cute on a necklace. Again, a little collar length one. Nice against a dark background. And quite a bit of work's gone into that. Now, I have to say, like anything that's old and on beaded, it's slightly loose, but I don't think that's a problem. I think that's really rather lovely. That's a nice vintage item. And then I might have got rid of, there might have been a couple of bits that were just, that have already gone into a crafting pile. There were a couple of broken things. This intrigued me, though. It looks like carnelian in here. It's very woven and plaited. It's very odd. There's a chain in there and there's like a leather rope in there. But these beads and stones in it are really rather lovely. They look like a form of carnelian, I would say. Judging by the colour, they look more brown on screen than it really is. It's not that unpleasantly brown. And there's a couple of nice, they're not stone, they're sort of made beads that's kind of a coppery colour. So that intrigued me. What intrigued me the most, of course, is that I should know what brand this is. And I've forgotten. It's like a heart clasp. I'm sure that's a brand that I'm just having a mind fart over and can't remember what it's supposed to be. It's autumny colours, perfect for right now as we approach the equinox, when dark and light are equal. I do very much like this time of year. I like all times of year, to be honest, but it has a sense of closure on the summer, I suppose. So I really, really like this time of year. And I was doing a wonderful, wonderful ritual with friends yesterday in some glorious woodland. And did you know you can get trees that are furry? I had contact with a furry tree. Now, when I say furry, I mean it had so much moss on it, and it was that really soft, green, furry moss. Absolutely beautiful and very lovely to touch. Very tactile. I picked this up. This is like a brass and wood bangle. That'll probably end up in a lot, but there was something rather nice about it. I don't know if they've wrapped the wood in brass or whether the whole thing is brass. Who knows? But anyway, so there were 4 little bits that were a nice little bonus. Oops. Oh yes. I was in Birmingham last week, as some of you will know, just for a couple of days. And Edgbaston, actually. I've got a lovely aunt who lives in the most glorious house with the most enormous garden in Edgbaston. It's deeply posh but lovely. And Harborne is the nearest high street, where they have some very expensive charity shops. So I didn't find a lot. Ooh, what's Elaine said there? Question. Hand up. It's very polite, Kelly, especially for a Monday morning. Have you ever cost Aquascutum and Harris Tweed? Ooh, that'll do well. I mean, Aquascutum is a good brand, as you probably know, but a lot of companies would buy in the Harris Tweed, so you see the Harris Tweed sign with the little orb, as well as the Aquascutum label. That should be very nice. The only problem with Harris Tweed is, like anything wool, is a propensity for moth holes. But hopefully the moths haven't been at it. That sounds like a good find. But then you're good at finding, aren't you? This was a little brooch. It's not branded, but it was quite charming and not missing stones. And as you can see from the ticket, I paid £1 for it. Again, nothing overly special, but I like brooches. Oh, this was also £1. I quite like this. It wasn't branded. No, definitely not branded. Not terribly old, but again, I think people are going to want a bit of bling, a bit of sparkle in their lives as we head towards winter, because winter is coming. This is known. And I thought this was quite well constructed. I like the way it was made. So, very interested. As you probably know, as you probably see on my site, if you have a look, I have some jewellery up there. I've got a lot of jewellery that is not listed. I think in a way I'm kind of pugging it away like Smaug's hoard of jewellery, so that at some point in time I'll have a lovely backlog and I can then just list away without having to worry about sourcing. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm not entirely sure, but the need to collect it is quite strong. Yeah, doesn't take up too much room either. Right, the other bits and pieces I have. I like picking up these. They don't go for a huge amount of money. It's a kind of it's the style of it, and that isn't, it's more of a green. The greens don't come out well on the screen, do they? It's nice, chunky green bangle there. Turquoise, I should say. Unbranded, but some bangles do well, and why not? Actually, what I should be saying is how much I paid for things. I'm going to have to organise myself. Bear with. Keep it out. I sort of got things in lots. There was one place I went to where I got a lot of stuff. And hang on. So I also shopped with my friend Anne, who was running her stall. I bought from her, and that was rather nice too. So what's going on here? Lots and lots of lovelies. I think I might have paid 50p or 20p for that. It really wasn't much. But then I bought 3 items for £5. Oh, sorry, it's getting knitted into my jumper. 3 items for £5. Now, I don't think this is silver. It's probably silver plate, but how cute is that? Is it a bugle, a horn? I've got to check exactly what kind of instrument it is. It even has a little things there, and I thought it was cute. It's a brooch, but it seems to have a thing that you can hang it from as a pendant, should you so wish. And there'll be musicians out there who want to celebrate their particular instrument, so maybe that's a good one. Really like that. It'll polish up nicely. I haven't polished anything. I rather liked this. So little black glass sea beads with some beautiful beads on it. The light's not brilliant. It hasn't come on the front yet. Nice glass beads. Sort of cane glass millefiori. I'm not good at this. There we go. I thought that was rather lovely. And it's just a collar length one. And it's vintage. So I figured that would be quite popular. There we go, on a barrel clasp. And this I picked up when I showed my friend Anne. She got very excited. The glass beads are little scarabs, little design. I just thought, maybe it's a bit grubby, but apparently it isn't. Ornamentism, hunting horn. It could well be. It could well be. I'll test it for silver, though I don't think it is. But these beads are absolutely beautiful, blue glass. Now, I have been informed that these are Max Niger. Now, there are some issues. Someone has replaced one of their blue beads with kind of a glass or quartz bead. So we're not sure if it has been restrung. But people use these beads to make all sorts of things. I've seen earrings going with just one little scarab, one of these little scarabs on these little scarabs. Trying to show you the right thing. There he is. Goes for quite good money. So I consider that to be a bit of a win. I'm going to move off the sofa and head to the office. Well, yes, that's why I'm doing this, because it gets me out the desk. And I've got to have a bit of a tidy up, because you can't see what I can see. It's horrific. Paid £1 for this. I just thought it was so unusual. It's not Leo Stein, obviously, but it's in that thing of the layered plastic. But it is actually by NW3, which most of you will know is connected with Hobbs. And I just thought it was so unusual. And it's a very muted blue. It's not big, I have to say, because I've got quite small wrists. That fits me quite snugly. It's rather nice. I just liked it. I just buy things because I like them sometimes. A lot of the time. I just buy things because I like them. I'm trying to think what I bought from my friend Anne, split it out from, I can't remember, Oh, I did buy this from Anne. Sorry, no, I bought 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4 things? Maybe I've dropped something. I bought 4 or 5 items for my friend Anne, and I paid £10 in total, which is fair enough. And that one was the bracelet. This I thought was weird. It's brass. I mean, how bizarre is that? I like bizarre. A little bit modernist, perhaps. How do you get it on? I think you have to make it bigger. There we go. It's not a spoon. I can't wear brass and keep it on. It doesn't. My skin doesn't like it. It's very strange, and I quite liked it. It's obviously handmade. Just weird. Again, slightly weird, slightly different. Excuse me. Frog in throat. Nice pair of silver earrings here. I liked these. I love anything with green in. I am drawn to green, and these are actually what I didn't realise at the time when I was buying it. I thought they were just earrings, but they're earrings and a necklace set. Little drops. Got a little pent up there. Tiny little green dingly danglies, and a very delicate, exceedingly delicate silver little dingly dangly there. So that's a lovely set. A portable spoon for emergencies. What kind of emergencies? Yeah. Always handy to carry your own cutlery. And they used to do that in the olden days, didn't they? They'd always carry their own knife and spoon usually. I don't think they were too bothered about forks, but a knife and a spoon was definitely a thing. Perhaps in these COVID times, people should do the same. I love these. I don't know if they're silver. I don't think they are. But I fell in love with them because they are so modernist. They're nice, dingly-dangly, pierced ears. And what cool design. They're probably 80s. 80s or 90s. And that is is that a hematite? Looks like a hematite kind of stone in the middle there. Just a cool design, really. Oh, she says dropping them. They're not hallmarked or anything. I may test them, but they're more likely to be silver plate than silver. But nonetheless, gorgeous. Hello, Cherry. Now, it must be night time where you are. Am I right? I would get terribly confused. So it must be very, very quite late in the evening. No, it's evening time, isn't it? Oh, who knows? But welcome anyway. Made a right mess of that, didn't I? I'm getting a bit of a cold. Son has had a cold because he's been back at school, and that's what kids do. And he's been generous enough to share it with me. So, now for the absolute treat, and why I didn't mind spending out on the other stuff, is because I got absolute mass of stuff. The whole handful of jewelleries for £2. And they're nice jewelleries. This didn't have a label. This is a bracelet. Knew it was reasonably quality because it has the clasp, safety clasp, and that's usually a mark of good quality. So it may well be gold plated, hard to know, but a lovely machine cut design there. I think it's possibly gold plated. It's hard to know. I was very surprised it didn't have a maker on it because it has a lovely feel. But I've been over it and I can't find a maker. Oh, I bet you can see it at the moment. It's always a fun thing, even on a cloudy day. You think, well, the full moon's up there and someone can see it. Right, what else did I pick up? Oh, yes. The necklace that keeps knotting itself. This didn't have a brand, but what a cool design. Not silver. Possibly silver plate. Nice collar length. Very modernist. Nicely made as well, I have to say. Nicely made. No wear or tarnish. And not only that, but a matching bracelet. This is extraordinary. They were saying like 20p each for things, and I picked up a bundle and said, I'll take all of these, how much? And she said £2. I nearly fell over myself. I really like that. It's very, very modernist. Nice set there. Oh, wow. Oh, I've got the envies. I've got the envies. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Full moon. Very magical time. Yes. Now, is this a branded one or not? You know, you get confused after a while. This was also unbranded, but I do love a chunky chain link vintage necklace. Collar length again, nice and heavy. Oh, yeah, get me on a plane. Your country won't have me. Not from virus-filled England. Yes, do tell everyone where you are, exactly where you are, because we'd love to know. It's always nice to get a picture of where someone is. Oh, hi, Rebecca. Morning. Right, now try and find that, because this does have a label on it somewhere. This is Trifari. Another collar length, this kind of square circle link necklace. This is Trifari, and it's nicely made. An hour west of Brisbane. Right, yeah. So a little bit out in the sticks, I would say, if you're an hour west. But yeah, you must have the most amazing dark skies. I mean, where I am here, we don't get too much dark skies, but you can go out into the countryside, just travel a little down to the wilds of Kent. And when I went camping, I was sitting there watching all these shooting stars because it was August. I think it's the Perseid shower, something like that. And oh yes, I love a full starry sky. The best starry sky I ever saw was in Sedona in America many, many, many years ago camping. But yeah, I'd love to go to Australia, and I've never been. I'd dearly love to. Oops. I've really gone for chain necklaces, but these do well for me. Oh, and they keep getting caught up in my jumper. It's got like a crochet thing on it, so they hook into it. Another bit of Lovelace. This is actually graduated, so it does get a little smaller. And this one still has its tag because they often lose them. And this is a Monet. It says copyright Monet on it, probably from the 80s. And it can be either sort of length. You can have it slightly lower than collar or up at the collar length. And there's absolutely no wear on these at all. They're absolutely beautiful. Couldn't believe my luck. Very happy bunny with that. Then I've got things like, I could only find one of these. It is a silver earring, but it'll go in my scraps pile because why not? I do have a silver scraps bag that I'm saving up. I've been told there's someone that will give me a good price. Ooh. I have a spare silver chain, which is just as well because there's this lovely little, that's a little blue stone in it. I will test. I now have a Prezi. I now have a Presidium gem tester too. Oh, Sean friends. Oh, be careful. Your level's all dropping in. Yeah, I'd love to go to Australia. A very good friend of me had a fantasy where we would, when we were at school, we always had this thing if we get a motorhome and travel Australia. She did. She actually went and lived in Australia for a while, and I didn't. And it was a bit sad, but things don't always work out the way you plan. But she's back in England now and living her best life, I'm hoping. We're kind of out of touch, which is a shame, but there you go. There you go. It's almost like one of those little drunken bricklayer vases. Nice silver. It has... Where's my eye? Here's my eye. There we go. Ooh. It says 925, but it also says a S. So that'll be the maker of it. And I do keep silver chains just for these times. You need one to match. I thought this was interesting. Again, a little box of bits and bobs there. It's the George VI halfpenny, or halfpenny as they used to be called, with the ship on the back. It's been enamelled, really nicely done, and it's got a pendant fixing on the top with a jump ring. So I might try and find a gold tone chain to attach that to, because that's kind of cool. I haven't researched any of these. That's 1945, that one. So if I put that on a chain, that could make a nice gift for somebody born in 1945. Who knows? This again was in with the little bitsies. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. But it's got little bits of bling, but on the back is the telltale. It probably won't focus. There is a little swan there, which means it's Swarovski. Yeah, has a little copyright and a little swan. So that is probably gold plated because it's got that nice feel, a good quality thing. And I may have a chain that can go on, or I may just sell it as is so someone can pop it on their own chain. I don't sort of make a habit of seeking out religious stuff, but when it finds me, I want it to go to a good home. This I picked up in the vain hopes it might be gold. On looking closer, I'm not sure it is. There was only one, but I'll inspect it. It's got a little, what looks like an opal on it. And the post is gold colour, and I'll test it. I couldn't see a mark, and I suspect it's probably gold-plated. But the opal just looked interesting. So I grabbed it, like you do. And finally, what I suspect may be silver, although, again, it doesn't appear to be marked. I will test this lovely belt chain. Quite a decent length necklace there on a vintage clasp. So it's got to be 24 inches long. Nicely made. The rings are soldered. They're properly soldered, which is a good sign that it's quite likely to be silver. It's quite tarnished, but it has been nicely made. So there's every chance that could be silver. And I will be testing. So that's the jewellery. I'm trying to think if I've got anything else to show you on here. Because I should be working, really. Obviously. What other little bitsies have I got? There is so much work to be done. And I'm being very lazy in not doing it. Showing those. I think we've been through those. So yeah, I think that's probably it for now. That's a half an hour of your morning gone, isn't it? Or your evening. I'm very much enjoying learning about jewellery. We're still learning. I was very pleased about those possible Niger beads, and looking at things and other sources, it seems they could very well be Nigers. So I'm going to have to do a little more research with that and make sure. But yes, some lovely finds. So that was my haul, all of the haul and nothing but the haul from today, from yesterday. And I really ought to crack on some listing, so I guess you should too. So here's a nag, crack on and list. Have a good day. Hope your Monday goes well. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. There we go. I need to press that button rather than just leave the studio, because that would be rude. Oh, cheers, Cherry. Take care.